Hello everyone, this is Waldorf,
And this is Statler,
and today we've got Battle Report 68 for you.
068.
Kingdom of Equitaine versus the Undying Dynasties at Zahabi.
Huzzah!
Zahabis. Nice, colorful guy over there.
Someday
Looking
all of
good.
them will have color.
Someday all this will be
Hopefully we're still alive.
Version 2.0 is just around the corner, right?
Yep, that's true.
That's what I keep hearing.
But I'm unclear if the army books are going to be all redone by then.
Yes. Anyway, moving on. Here's the army list. Same as the last couple of games I've been playing. The only thing I'm looking at doing is switching out Audacity for Renown, which I'm not sold on quite yet. But the Mace of Tristan, get rid of that. Put in the Crusaders, whatever that Blessed Sword, and switch out for the Virtue of Renown.
So go for monster hunting. Well, big thing hunting.
Big thing hunting, even character hunting.
Yeah.
Because, when you roll that 6, there's no armor save and no regen.
Yeah.
And it's a divine weapon, so he's got to re-roll his ward.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like Audacity because I like just
You just
sitting.
like saying Audacity.
Audacity, yeah, absolutely. Especially when you roll that stubborn check.
Yeah, there is
Because
that.
I have Audacity.
There is that. The big thing is the Virtue of Renown works against pretty much all opponents.
Yes.
Whereas Audacity, you get stuck playing, Empire,
Yes.
Elves. A lot of times that's not going to come into play.
Yep.
Anyway,
Give him that sword. That'd be interesting.
give him what?
The sword that gives additional strength or attacks. Anyway, these are your nice fancy magic cards.
These are the magic cards I used. I'm going to redo them if I'm going to end up with shamanism with this army. Just because I did these because for the Strigoi list.
Yes.
And, it looks a little too bestial and scary for Equitaine.
It does look bestial.
So I went with shamanism. I'm still not sold on the lore yet. Sorry, the path that I'm going to go with. We have Awaken the Beast, Swarm of Insects, Savage Fury, and Break the Spirit. This is another one I did not roll a single double, but I did roll something that I swapped down to the Awaken the Beast.
Okay.
I like the Awaken the Beast as a good spell.
Yeah, no, it's almost the reason to take the lore
Yes.
path. Sorry.
Opponent got Hasten the Hour, which I don't like. That's the one that hits up to 3 characters.
Yeah.
Does an auto wound, no armor. The dance spell, Touch of the Reaper, which is another singles out a character and does D3 strength 10 versus your leadership.
Right.
It's another powerful spell, and Ancestral Aid. And of course he has Evocation. He also has the book that the augment spells work as healing spells.
Yes.
Book of the Dead, I think.
And he also doesn't own a printer.
And he doesn't own a printer, correct, because he likes writing on cards.
Yes, he's written all over the cards.
Took his word for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there we have his list on the top, going from the top left. We have 4 chariots in the woods, 4 of the cataphracts, I think, the snakes. This next thing down the list is 8 shabtis.
Okay.
It looks like a big bone giant in a pillar.
Looks like a pill. Yep.
That's what it looks like. 5 cav of the light cav, the whatever they're swift cav guys they are, fast cav guys.
Yeah.
One of the big, what are these things called
Sphinx.
now? Sphinxes? I guess they're still sphinxes, aren't they? Unit of archers, another sphinx, 8 more shabtis, more archers, and more archers. So he's got 3 units of, I think they're, I want to say 15 or 16 archers in each. 2 units of shabtis and core chariots.
Okay.
He has the architect back here somewhere.
Okay.
He's back here in this unit, and his Hierophant is back here. His Hierophant, he gave I guess it's the Cloak of the Desert or something. It lets him fly.
Okay.
So his idea, which he does with this, which he does fairly well, is he'll march what's over here. This guy will fly over, join a unit down here, and let this side march.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, this was the diagonal deployment, as you can see. Now we deployed. My 2 trebuchets, big unit of lance.
Well, the beauty of this table, it made you deploy them on the table.
Exactly, because of
the borders, you couldn't hang them over.
But you notice it's facing sideways because of that.
Yes, I do.
I'm looking for every inch I can squeeze back.
So we have 2 hideously green forests.
2 of the hideously green forests. These are the store forests.
In a frozen tundra. Must be a spring under them.
It is.
And then
field.
Crops that they forgot to harvest in the fall. A hill.
A single hill and a ruin. Correct.
Did you win, or who did you drop, or what happened?
I picked the side.
Okay.
And let's see, I picked the side, so he deployed his entire army first.
Ah.
Correct. Yeah, now I'm looking at that. Yep.
Okay.
So there you have it. My idea, of course, we're playing the scenario where it's the 2 objectives and you place 2 objectives and you try to control them.
Those 2 shields.
At the end of the game, you can see the 2 shields. The one in front of is Tomb Cataphracts, and the other one over here by the corner of the field.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. There's a better picture of the 2 shields and his army.
Was your deployment zone behind the hill, or you just chose to deploy behind it?
I chose to deploy behind it with these guys, with both these units.
Uh-huh.
I mean, these guys, the guys on the bottom left,
yeah, they're not behind it. I was curious on the Pegasus Knights.
And the Pegasus Knights can see off to the right,
yeah.
But they don't want to see straight ahead.
Okay.
There's nothing really. I mean, they might do okay against the chariots, but other than that, there's not a lot I want to throw that unit against.
Not frontally.
Correct.
But if your guys were farther over, you could try to overload the flank and jump them behind.
Right.
Yeah.
So there you have it. I've got the wedge on the left has the Virtue of Might character in it. The other one has 3 characters. It has my BSB, my damsel, and my general.
Okay.
All 3 loading this one on the right. And then just a unit of knights up here on the top right, which I'm just hoping to squeeze around and cause him to pay attention to him, really.
Right, right.
Because
is there a character with those knights?
There is not.
Okay.
And they can, Equitaine, they can either take a long wheel or just swift reform and march and move and get out of the way fairly quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I was looking for.
Right.
So you can see he took first turn, he moved up, and he used his awesome trick of flying, and he flew into this unit, and I was like, you just flew into a forest, you know that, don't you? So he took a dangerous terrain check and failed and took a wound.
Okay.
And he, of course, counts
Doesn't
down.
Carry. Yeah.
But it's not going to matter as soon as he gets a single spell off.
Yep, he goes it back.
Evocation spell or whatever. But it was funny watching him. Like, oh, okay. You can see the Shabdi's over on the right. It's just moved out. And elsewhere, he just came forward a little bit. He's afraid of my lances. And I kind of am afraid of the Shabdis and the Sphinxes.
Yeah.
And Tomb Cataphracts or whatever those things are.
Yeah, you can take those.
I can take those if I can hit them. I'm not going to do well if they hit me. So he launches his first spell, the Touch of the Reaper, gets a wound off on my
Lord
Sword of Might guy. I mean, Virtue of Might Lord. And back to me. I move forward, turn 1, moving forward. I wheeled my knights around all the way down here on the top right corner. I just want to threaten to get around to his flank. I gave him I think a 9. He needs to roll a 9 with the Shabdis to get in on me.
Huh.
My thinking there is, well, if he does manage to pull it off, now he's way out of line and he'll be moving 6 inches for the rest of the game
Right.
to get back in.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so they moved over there. That way I can threaten the archers, and if I get behind him, who knows what I can do from there. My the 5. I don't know why I brought him up here. I still need to work with my chaff. My 5 yeomen decided to ride up in the front, towards the front, make sure to get in range of a lot of bows, and took 5 shots, but then put a wound on his his Sphinx.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. That was well worth it. This die over here on the cataphracts, this 5, is where he's placing his regen. He's got a 5-up regen on 1 unit
Okay.
of constructs, and he's keeping it on them for now. So there you go. There's better. There you go. Plink.
Are these skeletons cold?
The skeleton's cold.
They're playing in this tundra. They don't have any clothes. All they get
I
the
don't think
bones.
skeletons care.
The-
Even the Shabdis. Here's a big unit of Shabdis right there. They don't even care.
well, I know stone pillars don't care. And rocks.
Those constructs over there do that.
Yeah.
So you can see this is on my turn. I've moved back with my knights, the aspirant knights.
Uh-huh.
They've kind of moved back so that the snakes cannot see them,
Right.
but they can still see out and see the chariot.
Uh-huh.
And actually, it's one of those weird things where I can see the corner of his unit, he can't see me.
Mm.
The peg knights have also backed up behind the hill from the snakes,
Mm-hmm.
so they can't charge me either. He got a little bit worried because he had a wound on his War Sphinx and moved. You can see the top right. He's moved his regen over to it just in case.
Yeah.
There you go.
When you fight your trebuchets last turn, what do they shoot at?
The trebuchets are shooting all the time at that War Sphinx on the right.
Okay.
I'm just trying to thump it and knock it down.
Mm.
I figure I can take one down. Well, remember what I said. He made this charge
Yeah. And
over on
flank.
the right, and it was in the flank as well. Yeah, it's too bad. It was a risk, but like I said, what I was doing is, like I said, even if he does that, I was looking at him being out. So he only put a single wound
So
on me.
you couldn't actually face him?
I probably could have
Yeah.
if I would have paid closer attention. He put a single wound on me,
Mm-hmm.
but he had a charge and a banner, and I rolled like a 9 or a 10, and
Yeah.
off they went. So there you have it. That was his turn,
And he reformed wide.
and he reformed wide, and then I found out why he did this, because now his Hierophant, who's in this unit in the center of the board,
Mm-hmm.
can fly over to the edge of that unit on the far right of
Right.
archers and bring that unit within 18 inches, and now they can march.
Yeah.
So it's a nice trick. So turn 2, I fire the trebuchets again, and you cannot do anything.
Mm-hmm.
They have not hit at this point. I think I hit once on the lower strength attack.
Mm-hmm.
You can see his wounds back on his Sphinx on the right. He's still got his regen on him though. And we go on to his turn 3. The Shabdis did exactly that. They marched forward 12. Now they're challenging my flank of my big unit as well as the 2 trebuchets.
Yeah.
So now he's challenging my flank as opposed to me challenging his,
Yeah.
which, kind of the opposite of what I was looking for. He fires away and plinks off a knight here with one of his bows. So he got up to where I need an 8 to charge him. I'm sorry, I needed a 10.
Mm.
He got up to 18 away with the chariots.
Right.
So I went ahead and tried it. I've got a rerollable charge range with these guys.
Yep.
It was worth a shot. And they made it. As you can see, they made it in, smashed them, and because they have frenzy, have to overrun.
Oh, so we've forgot some pictures.
Yes. Yeah, they charged, made it.
And your Pegasus
Brings you
and their
over.
move behind them.
Move over to get on the flank of the snakes.
Right.
He now has a fairly decent charge over here to the right of where he's measuring to, but he's got the what's the name of that spell? The -1 to hit and dangerous terrain spell on him.
The Oath of Anrahar. I don't remember what it's
Yes.
called now, but yeah.
Curse of something. Curse of the Wildwood, I think. Anyway, so he's checking that out. He does have that charge, but he's not going to try it. You can see what's happened here is my smaller unit did a reform and then moved 8 inches to flip around to the back to deal with the Shabtis over on the right.
You're smaller.
The smaller unit of
the
knights, you can
other
see
lands.
that they
Yeah,
were
they're
on
facing
the
to the rear,
left
yes.
of the other one. And the large unit took a 4-inch side step basically
And where are your
to
yeomen?
put some distance. The yeoman got shot off by archers,
Okay.
of course.
The-
That's why I put them up front, so I wouldn't have to move them anymore for the rest of the game.
the-
Because they're so awesome. Anyway, that was just bad play. So moving on to turn 4, after I've done that, he elects not to charge me and just backs up with his snakes. It's a staring contest. He doesn't want to come within my charge range. And you can see he's sneaking things forward. When he's out of arc, he'll come forward. When I turn and face him, he'll back up again. So it's kind of a game, and I can't really push him much because, like I said, I can hit any of these units. I probably the only one might be able to break is one of the Sphinxes in a single, and of course the archers.
What are snakes?
In a single turn.
I mean, the only ones you have to worry about really are the Shabti.
But the Shabtis I cannot break in a single turn. And even if I do break a unit in a single turn, I've got this big long flank. I'm probably not going to get out of his arcs.
Well, that's what those Banner Yeomen are for, to block. Oh, wait, you lost those.
Yeah, that works really good.
The
So even over here on the far right, the Shabti did not like this unit turning around and looking at him, so they backed up as well. I thought he would charge the trebuchet, get rid of it, and turn and face me. You can see up top I've managed to put another wound on the big Sphinx. It's down to 4 again. Those are the 2 trebuchet shots. It's just hammering away at him. He can't do any wounds. I got that. So he's content. He's content to just sit back and shoot at me. So there you go. You can see on my bottom of my turn, the pegs have moved further to the right. Aspirants have come around behind the snakes.
And those chariots out there as casualties.
Chariots up top are his dead chariots.
And you bringing your 2 lances to the right flank now.
Correct. Just kind of dancing around. I'm hoping these aspirants over on the far right, if nothing else, can get in and challenge for this marker over here on the right.
Yeah.
But he's got 1 unit in range of it and another unit close by already. The problem is at this point I have 3 scoring units and he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So even getting in at the last minute and trying to grab one is looking rather dismal.
That's hard to do with Equitaine when you play with the...
And you can see a lot of... Break the Spirit is the spell that does the -1 to hit. And I did put the Break the Spirit on the Shabtis here. Because they actually had a decent... I think they needed another 9 to get into this blue unit, the big unit of knights. So turn 5, he kind of dances around again. He turns his snakes around to face my aspirants. In addition to turning him around to face the aspirants, of course, made it so I'm in the woods if I charge him. And he put the regen on him as well. You can see the die there.
And the Pegasus are in the front.
And he put both units are in his front.
Yeah. And he brought up his other Shabti.
The Shabti now have come up on the left. They're
With
within
the Sphinx, yeah.
They're within 6. The Sphinx is up there. Both those are, of course, out of arc of my lance.
Yeah.
And you can see I've hit. Last turn I managed to hit the Sphinx, hit and wound the Sphinx twice, and rolled ones to wound both times.
But
he is down to 2 wounds now. On turn 4, I got him down to that. So turn 5 comes along on my turn, and I shoot him off.
Okay.
I did manage to kill him with 2 more trebuchet shots.
You turned your...
The problem is the trebuchet, even after it hits him, has only got a 50-50 chance of wounding.
Yeah.
On these guys, and then does D3.
And your big lance, you've turned to face again.
Big lance. He turned the archers in this field. He did a quick reform and then moved 4 and just got away from me.
How far were you from the Shabti on the flank?
The Shabti on the flank, I don't want them.
Well, just because they're in a single line now, and
Yeah, there's 2 in the back, 6 in the front.
2 lances you may have been able
2
to...
lances might be able to break.
And by the time the other guys got to you...
Right. I don't think I had. Yeah, they definitely did. I don't know why I didn't.
Just because how far you were, yeah.
Yeah, it was a fairly decent charge. It looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I did not take it. Turned back to the center. My thinking here was if he did not move, I could charge that unit of archers on the right on turn 6, break it, and just reform within 6 of this marker. And maybe be at least able to challenge one of them.
Yeah.
Control or challenge one of them. The aspirants, of course, have moved over further to the right, behind this hedge. I'm looking for a swift reform and then a move to get me within 6 inches of that marker, which the peg knights are sitting on at the moment, which they can't really do anything with it, but...
Could have gone after the light cavalry.
Peg knights?
Yeah.
Not sure. Could they? Yeah, you can see that's a really long
Is
charge.
it? Okay.
You can see there. Yeah, because I would have, because those guys bug me.
Yeah. And
he does this thing sometimes with his chaff, and he'll keep it alive until he really needs it.
Right.
It's something odd. I don't know. I don't understand that strategy.
It's much better to stick it out front and get it shot off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So as you can see, it's kind of moving along. Turn 6. On his turn 6, this is how he starts off. The Shabti's declared a charge on this unit of Knights of the Realm down on the bottom right and failed. I think he rolled a 6 and a 1, so he came forward 6 inches, so he's right in my face. Elsewhere, speaking of his guys coming up and chaffing me, there they go.
Yeah.
They moved up to chaff me and had me fairly blocked off from the Shabtis or anything off to the left. And actually, it really doesn't look like it in this. I don't know how he got bumped a little bit, but I don't even have the big archer unit in the center.
Yeah, looks like you'll hit it.
Yeah, it looks like I can wheel past it, but I cannot.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we
You can never tell with the warp of a photo, you know.
Yeah, and it could be I took this photo before he finished adjusting it or whatever, but anyway. There we go. He had plenty of movement to do it. So on the final turn, my turn 6, I charged the Peg Knights into the Sphinx.
Did he charge the Sphinx into your...
No, he just walked over there.
Oh, he's not sitting it. Okay.
He walked over there to get the fence bonus if I charged him with those guys.
I see.
And he also moved the Shabti around like this. So I've got barely enough to get... I can get one of these 2 units in.
Right.
The Aspirants or the Peg Knights into his War Sphinx.
Right.
But I cannot get both because of how he's placed the Shabtis.
Yeah.
And I, since he's on the fence, I elected to go in with the Peg Knights.
Yeah.
Besides, they've got a flank and less likely to break on my part.
Yeah.
The Aspirants just decided to get more than 6 inches away from the combat for some reason. It's bottom of turn 6. I was looking at it, and I could have reformed him and moved him up to within 6 of the marker,
But
he's already got 2 there,
yeah.
and I can't challenge either one of those
Oh,
units.
the serpents count as scoring.
Serpents are scoring, and so
okay.
are the Shopties.
Yeah, the Shopties were. Yeah.
And he's got 2 over there on the right as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, at that point, he had it. So I went ahead and charged off the fast cav in the center,
Sure.
and on the right, charged into the Shopty unit to see what was going to happen.
Yeah.
That's the guy with the Virtue of Might, and so we'll see. And the Flaming Lance. So we charged in the side of him. I think we did not do a single wound to him. He stood, the big War Sphinx.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything. I think he either killed one or did nothing to me. I think he killed one. But with the charge and flank, it was a push. So nothing happened over here. Over here, I killed 2 Shabdi.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I was looking for 2 Shabdi out of the one guy alone.
Yeah, I mean, you only had 8 lance attacks.
But he fights back. He killed 2 of my knights. He crumbled. Didn't matter.
Yeah.
That's where we
Well, he would have struck first before your knights.
He actually did. Sorry.
Yeah.
He struck first and killed my 2 knights. Then I went.
Yeah.
Actually, my big guy
Because he has double
went
hand
first.
weapons on his guys, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
They're initiative 4.
Yeah.
Actually, the big guy went first.
Right. He'd been the first.
But he didn't kill enough to make a big difference.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. He's only on. The good thing about this is 20, 40. He's on 40. I'm only on 3 of him
Right.
when I charge, which is actually kind of nice that I can limit his frontage to that.
Yeah, and not having the. It's harder when he's ranked up because he's got all his attacks, but when he's
Right.
single rank, then you can handle it to a certain degree.
Right. So there's Elsewhere over there. Killed that guy. Killed my peg knights. My knights in the center overrun after killing those fast cav. Just kind of walked out to the center of the board. And that's kind of where it ended.
Yeah.
Because of I lost that unit of knights early, which was a dumb move. I mean, there's a couple things I could have done that might have helped him a bit. And it turned out to be a bad play anyway, because he had the ability to get him back into the combat much faster than I thought he could.
Yeah.
So that was a dumb move. That cost me a few hundred points.
And you only had 1 piece of chaff, and you kind of threw it out there.
And then I lost my chaff early. But that's what I lost in this game.
Yeah.
He did back off the trebuchets. I thought he would come forward and, at least kill a trebuchet and turn and face me and make me charge him over there, but he did not.
Right.
I've got all my characters. I mean, it was a very light loss for me. The only thing I've got his 4 chariots, and because I finish off that War Sphinx that was there in the center, that gave me a 12-8 win before the bonus points. And then the bonus points come in, and he of course got
He's
both
got
objectives.
both objectives, yeah.
And I think I maybe challenged the one on the right. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I have 1 to his 2 on the one on the right.
Yeah.
At best. So that's where it ended. It ended up at a 12-8 win, went to a 9-11 loss for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, showing the kind of the strength of those bonus points. They really matter.
Absolutely.
Anyway, the lack of being able to wound the trebuchets. Trebuchets used to be so scary.
They're still scary.
They're still fairly scary, but needing 5s to hit and then 4s to wound at least against the targets I was picking is, kind of ineffective.
Yeah, but those are tough monsters because of their high toughness.
They are, but they did get 1. I mean, it required 4 hits to take him out.
Well, you still got it though.
But I did get 1 of them out of him. So, I mean, that's I think those things are about 500 points each.
Yeah.
Which is slightly less than 2 trebuchets, so
yeah,
got that out of it, I guess. Anyway, that's where it ended. It was a fun game. It was kind of a tactical sit back and dance around a little bit game. Not much combat at all in this game. I mean, we had the one turn where I hit the chariots, and the one turn I hit the Shabtis, but other than that,
Right.
that was about it. Anyway, that's it. Like I said, playing with the virtues, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, this is a tough army for me to deal with. They don't break.
No, you can't rely on that, so you kind of have to overload individual units and get rid of them.
I don't know that I have the troops to overload. Maybe I could if I would have taken that long turn charge on the other one.
I think you could
on the
overload.
far right.
You could have overloaded the left flank. Those units
Oh,
wouldn't have stood up so well against you.
could be.
And then you could have used the yeoman to go up to chaff up the Shopti so they couldn't interfere.
Right. Well, the problem is he's got like 45 arrow shots.
Yeah.
You know, he's putting on average 15 hits on me. So
yeah, it's fine, but that's that's.
I mean, that's really going to disappear one.
That just, but still holds him up for a full move of his
does,
turn.
if I can get him close enough, yes.
Yeah, you get 2 more rounds of combat.
Yeah, the bad thing with this army, of course, is you can't shield your guys. You can't shield your chaff behind a unit and then dash it out because these guys
Correct.
don't pay a penalty for
Correct. That's
shooting you off back there.
Problem with the
same thing with volley fire.
Undying Dynasty archery is it just
Right.
hits everything.
Volley fire will do it as well, I
Yeah.
guess, but at least that way they can't move and do it to you.
Yeah,
I guess. No, I guess they can in volley fire. Anyway.
we don't get volley fire if you move. So
No, I think you do. The only thing you lose, I believe, is the ability to get the extra ranks. Shooting. You still get the volley fire rule where you can fire over stuff.
do you?
Yep.
No, I have to read.
Almost positive.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that. Of course, it doesn't come
Okay.
up.
All right. Well, that's it. Thanks for listening.
Till next time.